And this is for the live stream, so I'll just have to talk loud in my loud voice. Welcome again. This is our last Wednesdays in Wiedemann of the 21-22 season. And I'm very glad to welcome you here in person, and we have the live stream going upstairs. The next concert will be on Tuesday, April 19th, and it will be our distinguished guest organist, Christopher Houlihan. It's a ticketed event, so don't forget to get your tickets at the College of Fine Arts box office. And it'll be a great evening. He's a superb organist. Our annual Pops concert is canceled for April 27th, so don't come for that. We'll go back and have a wonderful season next year. Today's program has Cesar Frank and Joala. Beginning with Cesar Frank, the three chorales of Frank were his last works, just after he had an accident which caused his death in 1890. And it's interesting because of the use of the term chorale, makes reference to the Protestant Lutheran chorale, which was a hymn with religious words and a religious sacred text. A Catholic adaptation at the time would have been based on Gregorian chant, plain chant, and that would have been normal in a French chorale. However, here, Frank uses a chorale tune, just like a German hymn or something very much sung, but it has no words. So it becomes, in a sense, a secular work. You can put the words you want to with it. And it has the beautiful melodic lines that Frank is so well known for. He's well known in these three chorales. It shows his maturity and a will to avoid what was the general taste of the time, which were light-hearted pieces of pastorals, picturesque things with thunder and lightning, shepherds tending their flocks. This is specific writing for the organ, and with specific registration, which always makes us think of the glorious Cavaillé-Coll organ at Sainte Clotilde, where Frank was the organist. The third chorale that you'll hear today is a sonata form, and you'll hear first a brilliant toccata, followed by a chorale hymn-like tune without words, but still you could sing words to it, makes it much more expressive. Then a beautiful adagio on the trumpet of the swell, which is way up high on the top of this organ case. And then the final part that combines all the themes and the melodic and rhythmic motifs. Ladies and gentlemen, the chorale number 3, chorale numéro 3, en La mineur in A minor by Cesar Frank. The Intermezzo by Joala was originally composed, he composed this piece in 1934 as a string quartet with piano, but he modified it into the version for two pianos and bassoon for a competition. He says, I worked 2 or 3 hours on my bassoon piece today. I constantly work on the same passage because it's not exactly right yet. I've never worked so hard on a piece. He also refers to this piece as a fantasy for 2 pianos and bassoon, and describes it as a perpetual movement, perpetual motion, in a modal design, the outline of which modulates without modifying its contour, or almost. He also entitled the piece at one time, Fileuse, which is spinning. It refers to the spinning wheel. This piece has been described as sparkling and always in motion, colorful and melancholic. It's a very particular musical language which is characteristic of Joala, beginning of the 20th century. It translates his perpetual inner state of fantasy, always somewhere between heaven and earth. This is not a musical language for our ears our ears can process easily, I'll tell you right away. Be prepared. Listen for the difficult rhythms that appear in the beginning in the hands, 3 against 2. It's a very difficult rhythm to achieve. The double pedal, 2 voices in the feet. The rapid changes in the keyboards that you'll see. And listen for the whirlwind, the mesmerizing spiral motion of the spinning wheel at the beginning. This haunting principal theme that you'll hear first in the pedal, and the unstrained lyricism at the end, and the spinning wheel finally winds down. But he has entitled it for posterity, Intermezzo. So, Intermezzo for organ by Joala. Joala was also a very gifted artist. In his drawings, he drew things rapidly in one single stroke, never rectifying anything. It was so precise in his mind already that he had the impression of just tracing over something that already existed. It was the same with his music. His sister, Marie-Claire, with whom I went to study in France so long ago, says he wrote like he breathed, very fast. He wrote it in a train. You'll hear this in the litanies, the rhythm of the train, on the corner of a table, and his manuscripts were practically empty of any sort of mistake. So clear was his initial vision. The visual aspects of his manuscripts also were beautiful because he had such a lovely penmanship and conceived them, the whole, as graphic works, often including little amusing drawings amid the musical staves full of notes that make up his exceptional works. For a young man who died so tragically at age 28, this is particularly moving and exceptional. A litany, as you know, is a repetitive and resonant chant. Alain puts this citation in his 1937 score. So of course, it's in French, but this we'll say in English. When the Christian soul no longer finds new words in its distress to implore God's mercy, it repeats ceaselessly and with a vehement faith the same invocation. Reason has reached its limit. Alone, faith continues its ascent. You can also hear the rhythm of the train where he wrote this piece. He was going to Paris or some other place. Da 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 da. You could relate to that very well. You can hear the distress, the anxiety, the wish in repeating without ceasing, the implacable, obsessive repetition of his theme, his invocation, in an all but very jazzy rhythm. It's catching. Until it ends in an outcry of emotion, in a chord that rips through the air without resolution, loud and dramatic. It's a wild ride, so be prepared. Have your ears be prepared. The Litanies by Joala.